back to the most professional sports channel on YouTube. Welcome back to Swivel Chair Sports. I'm your host, Zach Zuckerberg. Here with us today, Aaron and Joe. Goes ahead, guys.
Hi.
Sure.
Alright, in this video, we'll be doing our Week 5 NFL predictions, going through each game of the NFL regular season week, and giving our predictions as to who we think is going to win and who we think is going to lose each matchup in the NFL. So far in our regular season total predictions, well, going off last week first. So last week, in week 4 of our predictions, Joe and Aaron both tied, coming in first with a record of 11-5. And then I came in last, I guess, going 10-6. So a really good week for everyone involved. Just I wasn't quite as good as you guys. So that does bring the season totals to I am still out in front with 27-21 total record. And then Joe and Aaron tied in second. Just one game behind at 26-22. So it is heating up as we get going down towards the middle of the season here in the NFL.
Yeah, and if you like our content, be sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you think.
Yep, we're on our way to 250 subscribers, so your subscription means a lot in helping us reach that goal. But, back to the video. So now that we got our standings update out of the way, we can go on to making our predictions for this week. Starting off with the first game of the week, we've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Atlanta Falcons, battle of the NFC South. Tampa Bay obviously starting off 3-1 this year. Baker Mayfield looks incredible. Their one loss being to the lowly Denver Broncos in a game that they definitely should have won, despite Sean Payton's New Orleans Saints voodoo that he carries with him all the way up to Denver, apparently, over the NFC South. Falcons, on the other hand, been a little up and down. Their 2 wins have been on game-winning drives with less than a minute to go in the game of both of those instances. But I think I got to go Bucks. They've just been the more consistent team, I think, out of the 2. Baker Mayfield's been the better quarterback so far this season. And I think that defense of Tampa Bay is just a little bit better than the defense of the Falcons. So, give me Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm going with Tampa Bay as well. That offense is a well-oiled machine for the most part, with the exception of that Denver game. But that's kind of like you said, Sean Payton. Falcons seemingly kind of getting ahead of steam here these last couple weeks, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But I just think Tampa Bay is a better team all around. So give me Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'll go with y'all. I think the odds are for the Falcons, but I'm rolling with Tampa too. I like Baker and them. I want to see if they keep going. I will put the fact out there that when I pick the Bucks, they lose. When I pick against them, they pull it out. So,
Great.
Sorry, fellas. We'll see
Maybe
what
we should
happens.
switch. Yeah, maybe we should
Win
switch
together,
it.
lose together.
Yeah. Next week we got the New York Jets taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The Jets have two wins against 2 really bad teams, and then they got 1 loss against the Niners and the other loss against the fucking Broncos. So, not really sure what to make of them right now. Aaron Rodgers been up and down all season. Seemingly hasn't gotten 100% comfortable in that offense quite yet. And the Vikings, on the other hand, running like a well-oiled machine right now, 4-0 to start the season. Sam Darnold, MVP candidate. Defense is on top of the league. And Kevin O'Connell, potential Coach of the Year candidate. So, 2 sides of 2 different coins, I guess. I don't know where I was going with that analogy. But I think I got the Vikings when it's all said and done. They're just the better team right now. I think that defense is going to cause problems. Brian Flores seems to be confusing quarterbacks right now. It'll be interesting to see how he goes up against an experienced guy like Aaron Rodgers under center, but I do think that defense is going to hold up, and then Sam Darnold's going to do just enough to win them the game.
One thing this
In a revenge
graphic, one thing that this graphic doesn't show is where this game is played, which is London. This is a London game, an 8:30 a.m. game. So an all-day Sunday of football we've got. That being said, it being in London, who knows which team is actually going to show up and it is going to be good. And I would bet that it's the Vikings. Just,
Skull.
yeah.
Skull.
Closer to their actual
Skull.
homeland.
That's true.
But, yeah, kind of like Burke said, I've got concerns for that Jets O-line, that Vikings defense. Giving them a lead has been absolutely lethal this season. So, give me the Vikings in this one.
Amy, you made a good point. Who knows what team actually shows up in London? That seems to be the fact with all of them. But, yeah, there's a reason I just ranked them at number 2 on my power ranking. So let's go Minnesota. Come on, Sam Darnold.
Yep. Sam Darnold gonna make the Jets regret ever giving up on him this week. So next we've got a fun matchup between the Carolina Panthers and Chicago Bears, if you want to call it that. Bears defense looks incredible. Offense, a little bit stuck in neutral right now with Caleb Williams under center. Panthers got a little life injected to them, having Andy Dalton come in and start that Week 3 matchup. Got them their first win of the season, and then were competitive last week against the Bengals. So seemingly are on the right track, you could say, I guess, down there in Carolina. But despite being on the right track, I just don't think they're going to be good enough to overcome that Bears defense. Andy Dalton's probably going to be hurried, if not hit, a lot this game. And I think this is going to be one defense where the Chicago Bears offensive line could actually maybe hold up a little bit. So hopefully they build off of what they did last week against the Rams, run the ball at a similar success rate, and Caleb Williams doesn't have to throw the ball 50 fucking times. So give me the Bears.
I kind of want to say Panthers.
Say Panthers. Be wrong, that's fine. That's what I did last week.
I'll go with the Bears because of that defense. I've got faith in that defense. Adam Thielen being out, that's a big loss for the Panthers.
Deontay Johnson might get traded to the Chiefs before this game. Who knows?
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Keenan Allen could be traded to the Chiefs before this game.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
No. Ew. Ew.
So either of these teams could be down their number 2/3 receiver before this game. I think I'll stick with the Bears in that very scary defense.
When his channel is the channel, fellas. Go Bears.
Yeah. All right, next we got the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cincinnati Bengals, and man, it just does not get any easier for this Bengals squad, does it? Starting off 1-3, now they got to go up against Baltimore, who just beat the brakes off the Bills, and you got to be a little concerned if you're a Cincinnati fan at this point. You were able to get through the first 4 weeks, thankfully. You played the Panthers in Week 4, otherwise you'd probably be 0-4 if you played literally anybody else, maybe not the Jaguars. You got the Ravens, and the Ravens are feeling good, seemingly are figuring out their identity. Running the football is their identity, if you didn't know. Because I knew. Clearly I knew before Jim Harbaugh knew, or John Harbaugh knew, so... That's great, but they figured it out. It's okay. They figured it out, and yeah, Ravens should roll. They should be riding high off of a Bills win, and it is a division matchup, but the Bengals defense is atrocious. Literally, Baltimore, I swear to gosh, if Derrick Henry gets less than 20 touches this game, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing. So, as long as they give Derrick Henry the ball 20 plus times, it should be an easy win for Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm going with Baltimore. The Bengals have either struggled or not really committed to run the ball or not been in positions to run the ball. Whatever it is, they haven't run the ball very well. So you give that Ravens defense a chance to get upfield quickly against Joe Burrow, and I think that creates a lot of problems, especially with how good this Ravens secondary is. Then you throw in the fact that the Bengals couldn't force the Commanders to punt. What do you think they're going to do against the Ravens and Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson?
Yeah.
I think Ravens in this one.
Just to kind of follow up with what you said, I got 4 numbers: 150, 170, 120, and 150. What do you think those numbers are?
Derrick Henry's rushing stats against the Bengals.
I was going to go with Lamar Jackson's rushing stats against the Bengals.
So that's in 4 games this year, that's what Cincinnati's defense has given up rushing yards wise. Mm-hmm. And now you're walking in with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. So maybe those numbers are telling about what might happen this Sunday. So let's go with Baltimore.
Like I said, if Derrick Henry does not touch the ball 20 times, there's a problem. But next we got Miami Dolphins taking on the New England Patriots in a heavyweight matchup for the ages that we've all been waiting for, as Tyler Huntley takes on Jacoby Brissett.
Where's Tom Brady when you need him?
I guess I go Patriots, I think. Maybe. Yeah, fuck it. I'm going Patriots. I think the defense of the New England Patriots is going to hold Miami to less than 10 points. And hopefully that offense can score 10 points is basically what my strategy is here. So, this game's going to be awful. I don't know. Give me New England.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with New England as well. Miami just hasn't seemed to be able to do anything without Tua.
Tyreek might be in Kansas City before this game's played.
Tyreek might be Jalen Waddle. Might be in Kansas City before this game's played. But the Patriots, they have at least a decent defense, and although he is a Pro Bowl quarterback, I haven't been super impressed with seeing Tyler Huntley's play on the football field. So give me the Patriots.
Patriots defense, and until the Dolphins can show anything on offense without Tua, I can't see a reason to pick them.
I think we've all picked the same team so far, guys. So next we've got the Cleveland Browns taking on the Washington Commanders, and I don't think our picks are going to change here.
Can we all say it on 3?
1, 2, 3. Commanders! Yeah, okay, yeah. Washington should come out with this game. I don't think any of us have absolutely any belief in the Browns or Deshaun Watson under center right now. Jaden Daniels looking like a runaway rookie of the year, maybe even dark horse MVP candidate at this rate. And Washington should come out with this win. So, collective.
Hey, real quick, that Dolphins Patriots, the spread is 1.
Yeah,
it's just 1.
Yeah, well, that's probably the total number of points getting scored. So.
There are 2 teams that, in my opinion, could maybe make the Browns look like they have an actual offense.
That's the Giants, who already did it once.
3 teams that, in my opinion, the Seahawks and the Commanders. With that being said, I think the Commanders' offense is very good behind Jaden Daniels, and should have no real problem outscoring the Browns. So give me Washington.
Yeah, Washington's defense could lose them in this game, but
it's also banking on the Browns being good enough to score
off of that.
Yeah, I'm on Commander, so you can go to the next one.
Next, we got the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Battle of the AFC South. Jaguars have looked atrocious, one of the worst teams in football. Currently, they are the literal worst team in football, as the only team with a winless record at 0-4. Then the Indianapolis Colts has been about as inconsistent as you could have imagined under Anthony Richardson. We're just saying something because I think everyone imagined it would be pretty inconsistent. So Trevor Lawrence needs to figure something out, man. I think Anthony Richardson's going to be a little banged up. Assuming there's a little bit of a question mark around their quarterback situation. And the Jaguars just being absolutely desperate for a fucking win. I've got Jacksonville getting their first W of the season. In a year where I don't know how many there's going to be. So, give me Jacksonville.
I would like. Is it possible for me to get an asterisk and a caveat for this game?
Sure.
Yeah,
Because
I got
think
one.
I think if Anthony Richardson plays this game, I think Jacksonville wins. I think if Joe Flacco plays, I think the Colts win.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, can I get the same thing? If AR-15 starting, I got the Jags. If Flacco's going, I got the Colts.
Sure, y'all can have that, but I'm taking Jacksonville regardless.
I don't mind that. It's just they kind of stink, and
They're
Joe
bad.
Flacco's actually decent, and that offense actually looked decent under a quarterback who could throw the ball under 80 yards accurately. And Jacksonville showed a little fight there against Cincy last week, so
Houston.
I would like that caveat.
Yeah, that's
that,
fine.
that goes for like any point in the game, pretty much. As long as Flacco comes in, because you know what's gonna happen is Anthony Richardson, he's gonna have a little sore hip still going into it, and on the first quarter, they're gonna make him carry the ball about 7-8 times,
He's gonna get
get
hurt.
hit by a couple
Yep.
guys, and then if he
Trayvon
gets hurt,
Walker's gonna dislocate his hip or something, and yeah, they're gonna.
it's after the first half, and it doesn't matter. But if it's before the first half and Flacco's in, he's got a chance.
All right, I'll give you all that caveat, but I'm taking Jacksonville regardless. Next, we have the Buffalo Bills taking on the Houston Texans. Buffalo needs a bounce-back game, and the Texans need to see if they're really legit, because their one battle-tested game this year was against the Minnesota Vikings, and they got mollywopped. So it'll be interesting to see how they do going up against another AFC contender in the Buffalo Bills. But I think Josh Allen and company are going to be coming out with a little bit of a point to prove after getting, kind of beaten down by the Ravens this past week. I think they're going to want to, kind of pick back up where they left off in week 3 and get back on the right side of things. So I got Buffalo winning this one. And Josh Allen kind of, getting back into the MVP frontrunner position.
This is tough because that Bills secondary has played well. Has played well. They just couldn't stop the run last week against
The best
Baltimore.
running back in football right now. Yeah.
But those Texans receivers are just so good. It's kind of a toss-up. You don't really know. Probably don't really expect the Texans' run game to be super great, so you expect them to throw the ball a lot, which I'm sure Buffalo would be prepared for. And Buffalo's going to be missing Von Miller for, what was it, like 4 weeks or something like that? 4 games. So
Right when he was
a little
getting
bit
back.
a little bit hurt for their pass rush there. I think I have a little bit more faith in Josh Allen to go out there and take this game. So I think I'm with Burke and taking Buffalo here.
We should all just pick the same teams the whole way. and nothing will change. This is a tough one. I also just looked. The spread is also 1 point spread for this game, which makes sense. Aaron's point about the receivers is a good thing. I mean, I don't know if you guys have kept up, but Nico Collins has been absolutely tearing it up his entire season. But I'm not going. I said it before, not until halfway through the season. So let's just ride together, boys. Let's go Buffalo.
Next, we got an AFC West slugfest between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos.
Just another 10-9 game.
Tremendous quarterback play between these two teams throughout the first 4 weeks of the season. These two quarterbacks have a combined 4 touchdowns to like 9 picks or something like that. I don't expect a high-scoring game by any means, but both teams do have good defenses, I think. So probably going to be something along the lines of like 12-10, maybe 15-7, something like that. I think the Broncos are a little better. They might have a little bit better of a running game. Of course, with Missouri product, what's his name?
Tyler Beatty.
Yeah, with Missouri product Tyler Beatty probably out for this game after suffering an injury this past week. I don't know anymore. I guess gotta go Broncos, but it's very possible that this game could end up as a tie at 0-0.
Not Mile High. You can kick too far Mile High.
yeah, you're 3-3.
The Raiders feel like the better team, but this just seems like one that Sean Payton sneaks out, pulls out of his bag, and wins. But for the sake of us picking a different game, I'll go with the Raiders.
At any point, please.
I agree with both what you guys said. This game's about as even as it can be.
Can I throw the caveat that it's Devontae Adams?
Devontae Adams is gone.
No, I won't throw that in there.
That's what, man. I agree with Aaron. I think the Raiders should. On paper, they should win, but I think I'm going to go Burke. I think I'm going to go Broncos. Simple fact, they've given up 9 points against the Jets and 7 to the Broncos, or to the Bucks, I meant.
Defense is
that
good.
Raiders offense. Nothing on the Raiders is scary, just like nothing on the Broncos outside of Pat Surtain is scary. So maybe the elevation gets them a little winded by the third, fourth quarter, and the Broncos pull one out 5-3.
Okay.
Safety. Next, we have the Arizona Cardinals taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Battle between two NFC West teams. I thought the Cardinals were sneaky good at the beginning of the season, and now I don't know so much about that anymore after letting the Commanders score 40 on them. I do think the Commanders are a good team, but I don't think a good defense would let any team score 40 on them. So my perception of the Arizona Cardinals has changed drastically these last couple weeks, whereas my perception
last
of
week.
Yeah, really just the last week, I guess. Yeah. The 49ers, on the other hand, suffering a lot of injuries, but still just doing enough to be competitive. Deebo Samuel was back this past week, and it looked okay. You still got Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings. Jordan Mason's looked decent, obviously. There've been some murmurs you might get Christian McCaffrey back, but even if you don't, you should be able to take care of this game. So I got Niners.
Yeah, I've got Niners as well. Despite their struggles, I think they're just too talented. I think the Cardinals have an exciting offense. It's just that defense is. I don't know if they've got the talent.
Held the Lions to 20 somehow, and I don't know how. I'm confused now.
Jared Goff didn't play very well.
Yeah, I guess not.
Niners. I'll keep it short.
Next, we got the Green Bay Packers taking on the injury-ridden Los Angeles Rams. Packers got Jordan Love back last week and looked really, really bad in the first half and looked pretty decent in the second half. Jordan Love should, look a little bit more comfortable in his second game back from injury. Whereas the Rams, coming off a third loss of the season, their only win of the season's against the 49ers, believe it or not, in a come-from-behind fashion. Otherwise, they would be 0-4, could easily have started 0-4. So I think the Packers should win this game. The injuries just kind of caught up to the Rams to a point where I just don't see how they're going to be competitive. Jordan Love seemingly got more comfortable in that offense as the game went on this past week, so I expect him to come out and look a lot better than he did to start the game against Minnesota. And that Packers secondary is much improved over last year, and if the Rams don't have any really reliable receivers to throw to, then I don't really see how they're going to be able to keep up with the Packers offense. So I got Green Bay winning this one.
Jordan Love has thrown 4 interceptions through 2 games this year so far, including 3 last week against Minnesota. I think part of that's probably due to some knee discomfort, not being able to drive the ball as he usually is able to. I think he probably looking a little bit better, probably not back to 100% quite yet, but I don't know that he'll struggle quite as much against this Rams defense as he did against the Vikings. So I'm with you. Give me the Packers again. They should maybe look to get back to that run game. They look pretty good with that.
Josh Jacobs is a good running back. So
Go Packers.
go Pack, go. Next, we got the New York Giants taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks coming off a tough loss to the Detroit Lions, where they looked really good. Offense was able to keep up, just not quite enough with the Lions, who were able to outscore them by a couple scores. But I mean, really, the Seattle defense just couldn't keep them from scoring. And then the New York Giants, on the other hand, one of the worst teams in football. Did give the Cowboys a little bit of a scare this past week, but I think that says more about the Cowboys than it does about the Giants. I just don't think the Cowboys are really that good. So I got the Seahawks winning this one. Offense should continue to look really nice. It'll be interesting to see if Daniel Jones can pick apart this defense in a similar fashion of what Jared Goff did a week ago. Because if he can, it could end up being a little bit more of an interesting game than we may all think it's going to be. But I think it should be a winnable game, easily winnable game for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going with Seattle as well. That offense was standing toe-to-toe with Detroit there last night. Defense just couldn't quite get it done. Offense for the Seahawks looks great, especially getting Quay Walker back. He was absolutely monster in that game yesterday. So I think I'm going to take the Seahawks, despite my faith in Malik Neighbors to make Daniel Jones look like some semblance of an actual quarterback. I think the Seahawks offense is just too explosive.
Is Malik Neighbors out of concussion protocol? What's the news on him? Does anyone know?
Ooh, that's a good point. Let me check real quick.
Go ahead, Joe.
Not that I know of. I was looking at it earlier, and I didn't see anything that he was out. Like, he's not cleared yet.
Questionable.
Questionable. The whole week to get through it. You don't got to get in shape for nothing. So as long as he gets cleared, then he plays, basically. Yeah, I'm going. I just don't trust the Giants, so go Seahawks on that one.
Jalen Hyatt could be on the Chiefs before this game.
That is true. Another receiver you got to worry about. So CeeDee Lamb could be on the Chiefs before this game.
I don't know about that one.
Next, we got our Sunday Night Football matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Congrats on making prime time, Joe. Should be a good game, I think. Cowboys aren't nearly as good as some people thought they'd be. They're about what I thought they would be. I thought they'd be about 9. I thought they'd go 9-8. They're at 2-2, so right on track as far as my standards are concerned. Steelers, on the other hand, 3-1. Defense looking like one of the best in the league, picking up right where they left off last season, and the offense is also kind of picking up right where they left off last season, being just good enough to win games. So it's been better. It's been better. But not incredible. Justin Fields has done just enough to win games. Like I said, running game's been good. But Dallas Cowboys, way below expectations. They just have no running game. And against this Pittsburgh Steelers defense, if they know what you're doing before you do it, then I don't understand how you're going to be able to do that. So if they know what you're doing, you're not going to be able to do it. It's kind of my philosophy here. The Steelers should be expecting you guys to pass a lot. Probably going to be able to pin their ears back a little bit. TJ Watt's going to be able to get after Dak Prescott. I could see TJ Watt finishing this game with 3+ sacks. And I got Steelers winning.
Yeah, I could see this game going about 7 different directions. Tough one. I could see Justin Fields struggling for some reason. I could see the Steelers coming out and being absolutely dominant on defense, and then Dak coming back and making it close. I don't know why, but I've got my head's telling me Steelers, but I've got an inkling that the Cowboys are going to come out and somehow win this game. So I think I'm going to go Cowboys.
You're disgusting.
I hate to say it.
Yeah,
I know.
You're a horrible
I feel
human
disgusting.
being.
I think I have to go shower after this.
Yeah, you're a horrible human being.
Yeah.
I'm going with Pittsburgh. I think I said last week I just don't like picking the Cowboys anyways. But Aaron, if this influences you in any way, Michael Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence both out for the game.
Oh, well, fuck that. Give me the Steelers.
You serious?
They won't be able to do anything on defense.
Yeah, no, they're screwed, yeah. I didn't even know that, but...
Yeah, two best. Well, it's like pretty much. I don't know if it's been guaranteed, like officially ruled out, but last thing I saw was that they're both expected to miss a couple weeks.
I expected Micah Parsons to be out for an extended period of time, yeah.
Yeah, I think they said DeMarcus Lawrence. One that I saw said like at least 2 to 3. They think they're expecting 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, if they're out both edge rushers, they're screwed.
Pittsburgh. So they're not getting no pass rush, which is our weakest point on offense is pass protection. If they're not getting no pass pressure, yeah, George Pickens about to go crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you this much, Washington Commanders, if they can run away with a couple wins here at this point in the season, they could make this really difficult for the Cowboys to come back and win the NFC East. So
it could be a very interesting race to the division title for that division from the last 5 weeks.
Wrapping it up, we got our Monday Night Football game between the New Orleans Saints and the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, the Chiefs, the only AFC undefeated team, 2 of the only undefeated teams, along with the Minnesota Vikings. Saints 2-2. Offense looked incredible the first 2 weeks of the season. Came way back down to earth these last 2 weeks as well. Last week, not so much against the Falcons, but against the Eagles, definitely. And then still, even this past week against the Falcons, just haven't been scoring 40 points like they did in the first 2 games. So, offense kind of slowing down. Chiefs obviously going to be out Rashee Rice along with Isaiah Pacheco and Hollywood Brown, who they've already been missing these last couple games. I mean, the Chiefs should win, but if there's a mediocre quarterback that could somehow find a way to beat us, it's Derek fucking Carr. He's done it before. I don't think he's going to do it this time, but there is a little bit of a nervousness that I have facing Derek Carr in the regular season, because I believe Last time, I don't know, is this at home or is this in New
This
Orleans?
is at KC.
At KC, okay, that makes me feel a little bit better because we beat the shit out of Derek Carr in Kansas City. It's on the road where we sometimes have a problem with for whatever reason, but I've got the Chiefs winning this one.
Yeah, but I think you're forgetting that he wears those earmuff thingies inside his helmet so that the crowd noise doesn't affect him. That's a big game
of
changer
course,
for Derek
yes.
Carr.
Yes.
With that being said, I'm going with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Good defense.
Yeah, it's in KC, and you got 15 at quarterback again. Until someone beats them, I'm going with the Chiefs.
Like I said, though, if there's going to be some mediocre quarterback that would beat us, it's Derek fucking Carr. But, that'll do our predictions, so.
Did we pick even on every single game except the one?
I think
Well, we had the caveat for the Colts game. You and I.
So that one like really doesn't count because it's like a win-win for us. Really.
yeah, pretty much cheaters. And then, I think y'all picked.
I picked.
You picked Texans. Someone picked
We
Texans.
picked the Raiders.
I picked the Raiders over Broncos.
Did no one pick Texans?
No, we all picked Bills.
We all picked Bills.
The Raiders and Broncos the only one that's different. Me and Burke have the exact same picks.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron almost had the Cowboys disgracingly,
Yeah.
but he flipped it.
Well, that's funny. Oh well. Well, unless y'all got anything else, I think that'll do it for this episode of the most unprofessional sports channel on YouTube, Swivel Chair Sports. I've been your host, Zach Zuckerberg here with the coach today, Aaron and Joe. Go and say bye, guys.
Bye.
Cheers.
Alright, make sure to like, subscribe if you made it this far into the video and you enjoy our content. Make sure to comment down below what your predictions are for Week 5 of the NFL season and whether you think ours are good or not. And, most importantly, deuces. Have a good day.